Hello friends, so today in this video we'll go through another problem from LeetCode. The problem name is network delay time. The problem is telling you that you are given a network of n nodes labeled from 1 till n, and you are also given a time t, the time it takes like to travel from the u to v edge. Okay, now what you actually are given here is that this is the time it takes for a signal to travel from the source to the target. Now you will send a source from the node k, which is also given to you. Now return the time it takes for all the n nodes to receive the signal. Okay, then you have to find out actually the maximum time it takes for all the nodes to get the signal. If it is impossible for all the n nodes to receive the signal, then you have to return -1. So because in every like weighted graph type problems, Dijkstra can be used because you have to find out the minimum time it takes. From the given node k, you have to find out how much time it takes following the shortest path to get the signal to all the other nodes. So that's how we can always use Dijkstra. So let's see how we can implement that with some example. So let's assume that this is the graph I have. Now if I choose k equal to 1, now you can choose k as any node, but the algorithms remain same. What we'll do here is just initialize all the other nodes with infinity, which means that it takes a long amount of time to reach the signal from this one till that node. Now what we can do here is first in Dijkstra we always have to find out the edge which is having the smallest distance or like smallest value. So what we'll do here is we can use a priority queue. We can also use a set also. We can use anything. We'll first make the adjacency list with all the list values or edges value we are given to us. So we'll have to first make the adjacency list, and then what we'll do here is then we'll make a priority queue. In the priority queue, we'll always extract out the distance which is calculated and which is the smallest, because the smallest one is the perfect one. If we cannot make that more small, so let's assume that we start with the first node. We'll push back that node. We'll first push back the distance of 1 till 1. So obviously the distance of the first node to itself is 0. So that's the starting condition, 0, comma, the node from which we are starting at. We're starting at the first node. Now what we'll do here is that we'll iterate over all the nodes which are connected to this. We'll pop out this node from the priority queue. Okay, and then what we'll do, we'll iterate over all the nodes which are connected to 1 itself. So it is connected to this, this and this. Now what you can see here is that because this is the smallest one, we'll take that first. So what you can see here is that the smallest one, so the distance is stored here is infinity, which means that the distance it takes from this to this is infinity. But if we take this path, it will only take 0 plus 1, because the time it takes to reach this node is 0, and plus 1 because if we are going through this route, so 0 plus 1, so the distance stored at this node, so we'll also have to maintain a distance vector which is storing the minimum distances take to get to that particular node. So for 1 it is storing 0, so for this distance plus this weight turns out to be, for this it turns out to be 2, or sorry 1. Why? Because 1 plus 0 which is 1. Now for this node it turns out to be 3 plus 0 which is 3, and for this node it turns out to be 0 plus 1 which is 1. Now what you can simply observe here is that now because we have walked down this path, we have to also push those nodes into the priority queue. So we'll push that this node distance, the distance is 1, comma, with this node value which is 2. This node which is like the distance is 3 and 3 node, and this node which is like a distance is 1 and the 4th node. Okay, this is the node number, node index, and the distance till now. Now we have to choose out the minimum distance till now. So you can choose this one. If I choose this one, because this is obviously perfectly fine, we cannot take a shortest route more to that. So let's take this now. We'll take this node, and this is fixed. The distance of 2 is actually 1. Now it is fixed. Now we can go from this to this node, and as you can see the time it takes to get this node from this node is 1 plus 2 which is 3. So okay, 3 is stored for 6 nodes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, 3 is stored. Now what we'll do here is that from 6 will again push back into the priority queue. What will push back? The distance to reach this node, which is 3, comma the node value itself. Now what you can see, this is popped out. What is the next smallest node here, which is like having the distance 1? So go to this node, travel over all the nodes connected to this node actually. So as you can see, this node is now value is fixed, which is 1. From this I can go to this node, and the value it takes is 1 plus 1, which is 2, which is smaller. So now what we can see here is that this value turns out to be smaller now. So we'll make this smaller now. Okay, then what we'll do here is just the next value. Next value is as you can see, this node, this edge is 1 plus 5, which turns out to be 6. Okay, that's how we are actually going a Dijkstra algorithm. Okay, we'll take out the smallest edge or the node with the smallest distance and try to iterate over all of them, because that is fixed, because we cannot do less of that. And then we'll have to find out for all these nodes till the particular priority queue becomes empty. It will become empty when we have iterated over the whole graph. Okay, so that's how the logic is done here. We'll go through the code part and make it more clear. So what we can do here is first make the adjacency list. What we are doing here is because the value of the nodes can be up to 100, so we have made an adjacency list for 10 to the power like 105. Then iterate over all the edges, and because it's a directed edge, push back from u to v, from adjacency list of u, push back v comma the weight of that particular edge. Then make a priority queue which is giving you the smallest distance. Okay, that's how we have made that. Then is a vector of distances to store all the distances from 0th node or the kth node to all the nodes. Then because the kth node is the starting node, the distance for that is 0, and we have to push back into the priority queue. What we have to push back? The distance of k, which is actually 0, and the node itself. Then we'll do this while loop till the priority queue becomes empty. We'll pop out the smallest distance node, and the it's the previous distance and the previous position. Previous means from the current node I am on, you have to go to different nodes. So we'll iterate over the adjacency list of that particular node, the previous position, which is like the node itself, and get all the new nodes. Okay, then for all the new nodes, if the distance stored at that particular node, which is like distance of that particular node, if it is greater than the path we have taken till now, so as you can see, next distance means that if we have taken that particular route I am on, we have to add that plus the node from which I am coming through. If that distance is smaller, we'll update the particular distance here itself, and then because I've updated, I will push back that updated part into the priority queue. And that's how we can get all the values starting from the kth node to all the other nodes. That's how a Dijkstra algorithm is written. Now in the end, we have to see that maybe it happens that we haven't reached any particular node. It is not connected at all. So in that case, the distance between the kth node and that particular node turns out to be a very large, which is like infinity. I've marked it out as int max. So what we'll do here is we'll iterate over the distance matrix or that distance array, because that stores out the distance from the k to all the other nodes. If any node turns out to be int max, which is like infinity to us, then what it means that that node is not traveled or not reachable from the kth node. If that happens, then we have to return -1 in that case. Else, if that is not the case, we have to find out the maximum among all the rest of the nodes apart from k. Because so what we'll do here is we'll just iterate over all the matrix and find out the maximum value itself. Okay, and thus return out that value. I hope you understand the logic and the code part for this problem. The code will be in the description, so you can check that code out also. If you still have any doubts, you can mention down. I will see you next one. Till then, keep coding and bye.